Greetings, people of the internet. Today I will be taking a look at the Transformers 2007 Premium Series Blackout. This will be a slight redo of the original. So, let's take a look at the box then. The box here is a standard 2007 Transformers box, which for all intents and purposes is basically the Lost Relic. And it looks super nuts and everything. Here on the side, it explains Automorph technology. Here's the Decepticon badge. There's Blackout's name. Here's the back of it, displaying the toy render, Scorponok, the minifigure that is included with him, his alt mode, and also available Ironhide in the premium series as well. Now, there's a little backstory here, which, if you watched my Starscream video, you would know. They usually put these in the back, these like little backstories. So, I can let you read it, or you can pause later in the video. Here's his like stats. Strength is 8, intelligence 6, speed 8, endurance, rank, that kind of stuff. On this side, there's pretty much nothing. And the front again. I do gotta mention that on the original releases, since this is the premium series after all, on the original releases, these pieces here were red like the box, but as you can see on the premium series version, it's this very nice looking silver, which has a nice reflecting. Which, mamma mia, I like what they did with it. Here's the bottom of it. Forgot to mention it. Also available, Leader Class Optimus Prime and the Leader Class Megatron, both in premium series, which I do both. I have both. And you, if any long-time watchers of my channel, you would know. Now, onto the actual toy. Here is Blackout himself. Blackout transforms into an MH-53 Pave Low, Sikorsky? I think that's how it's pronounced. I was correct, Sikorsky. Sikorsky MH-53, to be precise. And I like what they did with it. It's of course in small scale, but I like what they did with it. It has spinning rotors here, spinning blades here. The big rotor can also spin. It can spin with this plunger here, which if you were to, let me just switch them over to the side. Hold on, let me raise up the camera just a bit. If I were to push it, it would activate that. And the more you spin it, the more it spins, but I screwed the blades up. Either way. Since this is the premium series version after all, compared to the original more plasticky look, you can definitely tell the difference in both the paint and the color. Now, the original, as I mentioned, had the plasticky feel and everything. It looked plasticky. The blue was very nice though, but it looked toyish. Compared to most of the figures in the line, it looked toyish. So, we no longer have that. We instead have a very nice weathered matte color. See some weathering effect here. Some weathering effect here, some here. Some little neat details like this Decepticon badge. This rescue little decal. it says rescue on the other side, never mind. Here it says BLK line OT, which is short for Blackout, and 4500X, which is the I think that's the model of the chopper. Don't hold me on that. I don't know. Another gimmick of the copter mode, if it only wanted to stay put, is if you were to press this button here, if you can see it. If you were to press it, it would launch the little Scorponok that he came packaged with. Which, on the topic of Scorponok, just a second. On the topic of Scorponok himself, compared to the more dull grayish color of the original release, it instead opts for a more movie-ish accurate color, with this gold here on the head, the gold on the pincers, the gold on the legs, and these like rotors here. It has a feature where it can do this. We're not here to see that. He's basically just a glorified minicon. Either way, you're here to see the copter. Or well, the Blackout. And let's get to his transformation then. I will slowly do each step by step. So you come here, you basically push this together, the rotor, and collapse all the blades to get something like this. Come here, or more better, come here, and unclip this, and simply do that. Now, split that and flip over both of the sides to get something that looks like this. Okay. Now, untab both the arms, and then just simply swing this whole section down. Now if I were to pull on this, it would activate the toy's automorph, but his automorph is, as you can see, a bit shit. So I just do it naturally, and basically, just do that. I do it naturally. Twist the waist over. Come back to the top here and push this in until it clicks. Then raise this up. Sort of fiddle with it so you can get everything into place, and then move out the arms just for good measure. Then hold on. This you can see where you're looking here. Now, just find the tab and tab it in. Do the same process on the other side. Fold out the hands, twist the arms over, fold these up. And twist the legs over, fold out the toes, quote unquote, flip this up, and pull out this heel. And simply do it on the other side as well. Come on. There you go. Now activate another automorph, which is that. Oh, bam. And that's Blackout in his robot form. There we go. That's Blackout in his robot form. His robot form, as you can see, is also very neatly detailed. The original release opted for the more it didn't opt. It had black colors here. This was also black, and the toes, and the thighs, and these pieces here. Now I would show you the original release, but I don't have it anymore, so I'm sorry for that. Another difference was the hands were white instead of this now cream colored. And there is a lot more noticeable silver on this release compared to the original. As you can see, some on the crotch here, some on the waist here, and on the head. So pull this out again. So yeah. Here's the front. Here's the side. Here's the back, which is basically just the back of the chopper. Here's the side again. As you can see, it's basically the side of the chopper. Now get a closer look at his face. Which is very monstrous looking. He has light piping in his eyes. I don't know if you can see it, but I will show you in just a moment when I do after I do his posability section. So, regarding that, let's do it. His posability, the head can do a full 360. The arm can move forward this much, move back a lot, since it's basically used for the transformation. There's a bicep swivel, a 90 at the elbow, and no hand movement except this up and down, which is basically also for the transformation. The waist, surprisingly, as you saw during the transformation, is movable. It can do a swivel. So I guess you could pull off some dynamic shots with him. No. The arm on tap. The leg. Hold on. Come on. The leg can kick forward this much, and the waist on tabs can kick back that much. The waist on tabs again. It can move back this much. There's no swivel, but there's a knee swivel, a 90 at the knee, which is very nice, and toe articulation, I guess. It can move down, it can move up. I suppose that could do. That's his posability, and it's not limited in a sense, but it is limited thanks to this accessory, which I will talk in just a second. Now, this giant backpack of a weapon here, or well, of a chopper, is basically just that, a glorified accessory, which you can detach, and you can have Blackout look something like this, which frees a lot of his range, namely in the legs, especially in the legs. So, this has a function, of course. Twist down, like this, and basically spread out the blades again. So it looks like this. And another awesome thing is that it can still spin, though just not as fast, because, or well, technically it can spin just as fast. I'm having way too much fun with this. I don't give a shit. It's my toy. Either way. Bring Blackout again. And since this is a bit since this is a bit heavy, especially for the toy, you want to make sure to get him properly lined up so that he can basically hold it as a giant grinder. If it only would... There we go. See, if I were to let him go, he would fall. See? Let me just... There we go. There we go. So yeah, that's basically just... I suppose that's something. Either way, on to the light piping, which I will keep in this section as well. So, light piping, if you're a long time watcher, you already know, but for the new ones, light piping is a clear piece of plastic in the back of a toy's head, and it's in whatever color. For example, his is in red. So, if you were to... Here's my other phone, for example. If I were to bring it over and shine it, you can see how his eyes are just glowing demonically, which... Ooh, this is such a good feature. Very awesome feature. I didn't compare the vehicle forms. I don't have anyone transformed. Ah, dang it. Either way, for the comparison, let me just, real quick. Size comparison. Here's RoboVision Optimus Prime. Now I want you to take a closer look at how, and think for a moment. This is a Voyager. That's a Voyager 2. They would be in scale, you know, Blackout would be significantly larger. He's barely taller than a deluxe class. Here's Wreckage, for example. They're basically at the same height levels. See? Basically at the same height levels. That's nuts. This is a Voyager. But we got what we got in 2007, so it ain't all bad. The toys are still awesome. There are some stinkers like the 07-liter Megatron, and I don't know, maybe I guess he would be one of the stinkers. So as I was saying, he's not bad. I would recommend him if you are basically just a 2007 completionist who likes the toys and everything. But then again, it's a kid's toy, so you can't really go wrong with it, you know? So yeah, hope you liked this video, this little review of the old one. Hopefully it's not longer than the old one. But if it is, I'll give a shit. Either way, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.